Hello, this is Greg at Reserve My Court, and today I'm going to be covering the fee type rule. This is one in a series of videos on each of our rule types. And so this rule, as it sounds, is specifically for attaching and collecting fees for use of your amenities. So this might be for a public facility that actually charges for court time or something like that. Probably more broadly used in our user base would be clubs that have a clubhouse or a pavilion or something that they rent out to their members. And you can use this fee rule if you want in order to collect fees for those types of reservations. So one thing I'll point out before we get into the actual rule stuff. So I'm under club settings, and before you can set up a fee rule type, you have to have a Stripe account set up, and that's a connection with our partner Stripe, who handles all our card transactions. And once you set up your Stripe account, you're going to put in all your bank account information and all that with Stripe, and they'll make sure that all these fees get funneled to you. There are some specific fees, transaction fees associated with this stuff. Those obviously change, but right now Stripe is charging 2.9% plus 30 cents per transaction. And then we also charge a 50-cent transaction fee if you handle fees for reservations in our system. So if you don't have a Stripe account and you decide you want to do this, you're going to go under Club Wallet and click this Stripe link here. You would have a button here that says create a Stripe account. Instead, of course, I'm connected to a Stripe with this test account, so I don't have that. I just can go log in from here. But once you have your Stripe account set up, under amenity rules and fees, we would click this add rule button, and then we would scroll down here to the fee type of rule, and it basically, obviously, it says here it's set amenity use fees. So let's say we're gonna set up a typical example might be for a clubhouse, and let's say we have a deposit, but we also have a use fee. So we'll just set up the deposit first. So I'm gonna say clubhouse deposit, and let's say it's $100, and so then because it's a deposit, I'm going to collect damage hold or chargeable after reservation. And so what this means is that this fee will be authorized or pre-authorized when a user gets within 48 hours of their actual reservation, but it will never actually be charged unless you, as an admin, go in after the reservation, find that reservation on the schedule, click it, and then click the charge deposit button. And that would be available to you within 2 to 3 days after the reservation. Up to that. After that, you're not able to go back and charge those deposits. So that hold will be good for a few days, and then after that, it will disappear. So the user would never even experience this on their card other than as a hold. So it's $100, a damage hold, the fee type. So you can select fixed or hourly. So obviously, with something like a deposit, it's going to be a fixed fee. If you were charging for court time per hour, then you could put in the amount and then charge that per hour. The use type, singles, doubles. Obviously, in this case, it's for like a clubhouse. So this is just an all. If you were creating, again, a fee for a reservation on a court and you wanted to charge different for singles and doubles, you could do that. And when is this going to apply? Well, we're going to use all times, but you could select a specific time period I just want a word of caution, and you may have seen this in some of our other videos. This defaults to midnight to midnight. If you leave it like this is going to cause a bit of a problem. For the main reason is that this is intended to be a start time and an end time on the same day. And obviously midnight actually only occurs one time a day. It's the very beginning of the day. If you need this to be all times like that, then just literally select all times. But since if you need a very specific time, then do selected time period and select your times. Whatever you need here. 3 a.m. You're not going to probably have 3 a.m. to 6 a.m., but you get the point. So again, just make sure that your end time is after your start time. That's the main thing I want to show you there. So I'm going to go back and start over just so I don't corrupt that, since I was going back and forth. And we're going to go back to fee, and we'll say deposit. And we're doing $100, and it's a damage hold, it's fixed, and it's for all reservation use types, and we're going to make it at all times. So we're going to go next. With all rules, you can set up when the rule starts, when it ends. 99% of the time, this is the configuration you're going to want. You want this rule to start immediately and never end, but Perhaps you have a rule that only applies at certain times of the year. It's seasonal for some reason or whatever. You could do that here. You can apply this to days of the month, but most of the time you're going to apply this to days of the week. And in our case, we're going to apply it to all 7 days of the week. But maybe you only charge these fees on very specific days. You could choose to do that if you wanted to. I'm going to apply this rule, obviously, just to our clubhouse amenity, because this is the only one we're charging a deposit for. And then who is this going to apply to? You could have specific roles that you apply this to. Maybe you wouldn't apply this to the super admin because maybe they're making reservations of the clubhouse on behalf of the neighborhood or the HOA, and they obviously wouldn't be charging themselves for it. But that's up to you, however you want to do it. For now, I am going to apply it to the super admin just so as I go make a reservation, you can see how that works. And I'm going to submit this rule. Now I'm going to go create one other rule here because you can create as many of these rules as you want. That was a deposit rule, and I'm going to create another rule that's a fee type. And this one I'm going to say this is clubhouse rental charge. Okay, so this is not the deposit. This is actually what we're charging people, and maybe we only charge them $25 for it. This is not a damage hold. We're actually going to charge this. So when they make their reservation, 2 days before that reservation, it's going to attempt to pre-authorize the card for the amount. And as long as that reservation is still there the next day after the reservation, so let's say I reserved it for tomorrow, the next day after that, 24 hours after the reservation, if that reservation is still there, it hasn't been canceled by you or the user themselves, then that charge is going to happen. All right, so in this case, again, this is going to be a fixed amount. We're not charging them by the hour. It's for all reservation types, and it's at all times. Same here. Starts immediately, never ends. All 7 days. It's only on the clubhouse, and again, we're going to charge it to everybody, no matter who they are. So those two rules are in place now, and so each user has a place to put a card under their profile. So my profile, my wallet, they can have a card on file, and they will have to have a card on file in order now to reserve the clubhouse. And you'll see that as I go to the club schedule and I go to make the reservation. Now, first thing you're going to see here now is clubhouse is listed, and because I added a fee to it, it's got this little dollar sign at the top of that column. And so let's say I want to make a reservation here. And I'm going to go through. Now, so right here, you'll notice this is red, which is fine. It says fees apply, credit card required. So if I did not have a credit card on file with my account, it would not allow me to continue past this point, and you would need to update your card information. But I do have one. It's showing it to me in red here just so it jumps out. I hit next. Right here, I get a very specific and it gives me my card information will be charged. And if I hit more details, it'll tell me exactly what. For the clubhouse, it's for October 3rd. It's a $25 charge, and there's also a $100 hold fee here. So I can see all the details, and I'm going to go down and say, okay, this is a test reservation, whatever, and I'm going to submit this reservation. And so right now, it's setting up all the payment information. It's in there. And actually, because this is within a few hours from now, it went ahead and pre-authorized my card right away. If I had reserved this for, say, a week from now, it would sit until 2 days prior to that reservation, and it would try to pre-authorize that card. There's a lot of details about how these transactions happen and all that, and so I can, if you're setting something up like this, it might be something you're interested in those details, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you have about it. If you have questions about this rule type, other rule types, or anything else to do with Reserve My Court, we're always available to help. You can always reach me at 678-880-9042. And you can also get me by email, of course. That's greg@reservemycourt.com. Thanks so much for your time. If you have any questions, please give us a call.